Well, welcome to another episode of Bourbon Forage Fishing, and unfortunately, my economic predictions on the whiskey market, bourbon market, decline, crash, collapse, whatever you want to call it, are unfortunately coming true. Big announcement from Brown Forman today, you guys. Huge announcement. Let's take a look at this. We're announcing massive layoffs of workers. Let's take a look at the CNN article. Woodford Reserve parent company is cutting nearly 700 jobs as spirit sales sink. Okay. Brown Forman, the parent company of Jack Daniel's Whiskey and Woodford Reserve Bourbon, is laying off approximately 12% of its 5,400 employees. 12%, folks. That's huge. The Louisville-based company has hiked prices in recent years to offset inflation and shield itself from rising costs of materials like wood and barrels. Inflation-weary drinkers have simultaneously dialed back their spending on pricey liquors, putting premium spirits like Brown Forman in financial peril. Brown Forman said the job cuts, which amount to nearly 700 people. Look at that, you guys. 700 people will enhance operational efficiency and agility. That's speaking of agility. That's some serious PR jujitsu there. that line. It's laying off 200 people by closing the Louisville cooperage. So this is interesting, guys. Where wood barrels are produced and aged for whiskey and bourbon. So they started up their own cooperage with 200 employees, and apparently it's more costly run your own cooperage than it is to buy already pre-made barrels from other companies. To me, that doesn't make any sense. That means your company is poorly ran. You wouldn't want to open a cooperage and spend more money on it than it is to buy the barrels already made, right? That doesn't make sense. You would buy your cooperage to produce the barrels at a lower cost. So something very strange happened there, business-wise. That doesn't make any sense. Closing the cooperage and the layoffs will save between 70 and 80 million in annualized cost savings, according to Brown Forman. A portion of this is expected to be reinvested to accelerate growth, the company said in the statement. The barrels will be sourced from an external supplier at a competitive price. CEO Larson Whitting announced, "I want to express my sincere gratitude to our employees, particularly those impacted by these changes, for their dedication and contribution to Brown Forman." The announcement comes weeks after the U.S. Surgeon General issued a warning that alcohol consumption can increase the risk of cancer and call for update health warning labels on alcoholic beverage. Okay, well, that's nonsense. From the, what the heck is this? Wausau ABC? I've never heard of this. ABC. Louisville Distiller CEO reacts to Brown Forman layoffs. Just over 200 Louisville workers lose their jobs from the cooperage, as we just found out. The prominent Louisville employer announced Tuesday that they would laying off hundreds of people, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if there's any more information here. Lexington Herald. Is Kentucky's bourbon boom over? Well, yeah, it is kind of. It is. We're going to go, as I've stated on this channel a multitude of times, we're going to go through a market correction in the whiskey bourbon world. Sales are going to slump, and we're going to see first ones to really get hit really bad and really hard. Now, we've read NGP has cut back production upwards of 36% in some areas. Now we know Brown Forman has laid off 12% of its employees. So the big guys are starting to cut. That means the little guys, especially the non-producing distillers, NPDs, they're hurting right now, and we're going to see a mass wave of non-producing craft distillers going under late 2005, early 2006. We're talking hundreds, folks, hundreds at a time. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Oh, this is paywall blocked. Brown Forman is laying off hundreds of local workers, right? All right, more of the same. But basically what's happening is the whiskey boom has hit its peak. A lot of companies have overinvested, kind of estimated what they were going to be, what kind of growth you're going to be seeing in the whiskey markets. The whiskey market growth has taken a downturn. So it's been 3 years now. We've had either zero growth or negative growth in these markets. Bourbon and whiskey, of course, are a lot to do with luxury items, and luxury items are some of the first things that go boom when you have economic downturns. We have a much weaker economy than the government is lying to us about right now. The government is lying about the state of our economy. It is not strong. It is fundamentally weak. And this is kind of the canary in the coal mine, especially, as I've reported on the channel many times, the bourbon secondary market, which has seen just massive 20, 30, 40, 50% reductions in price of these hard to find and rarer whiskeys and these allocated whiskeys. So I knew once we started seeing these price crashes in the secondary market, it was going to ripple through the entire economy. I knew it was inevitable. I knew it would take time, and it looks like, the time is now. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more news dealing with larger companies making these kinds of cuts. And as I stated earlier, the real people that are going to really lose big and really get the hurt put on them is starting by the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, are these craft distillers, and especially the non-producing distillers, NPDs, non-producing distillers, which are basically gimmick companies, right? They're gimmicks, and they all do kind of the same stuff. They all do the same blending with the same NGP juice, and it's all 4 to 6 years. Nobody does anything particularly interesting or unique or different. So they're gonna really get the hurt put on them. But overall, as I've said on the channel many times, also I think that this whiskey market downturn is going to be really great for seasoned drinkers, because we're going to get into a situation where companies that know what they're doing are going to really push to have higher and higher age statement products, and you're going to see companies really pushing hard in terms of age statements and quality to get bourbon and whiskey drinkers to actually buy anything, because there's going to be so much product out there. There's going to have been so much production. You think about 3 or 4 years ago, we're in the midst of this whiskey boom. All the big producers were producing more. There's going to be so much whiskey sitting in storage, and the prices are going to downturn so much that we might have a golden age for whiskey consumers, right? The last 5-10 years have been the golden age for producers. I think we're going to see the opposite. We're going to see massive older stock of whiskey sitting in these big companies and sitting in some of these NPDs, sitting around and aging because the demand has just gone down so much. So all in all, it's an exciting time. The market has too many craft distillers, too many blenders, as they're called, NPDs, and we're in for a big correction. So it's kind of exciting, kind of interesting, and kind of scary if you work in the industry. I understand that. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bourbon Forage Fishing. Go check out some of my other older videos about this whiskey market correction and collapse. They're very educational. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe to the channel, and consider signing up for my Patreon. We're going to be getting a Patreon rolling out real soon, and that really helps me put out more and more content. So thank you, and take care.